A New York Knicks move is imminent, as multiple Knicks insiders have revealed huge free agency updates as the NBA offseason does hit its most dull point. The Knicks still have a serious move to make to keep building this contending roster that they do believe can win an NBA championship, especially with a new revamped offense from new head coach Mike Brown. And we're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. We're back home, no longer on the road. Let's jump right into it. Guys, if you're part of that 60% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Knicks updates. Now daily once again. And we are going to make sure to really stick to that. And if I do not update or upload a video every single day, I will find some way to make it up to you guys. But let's jump into it. There's a lot to go over on the Knicks right now, as Leon Rose is not done in free agency. I recently talked about how the Knicks do have that rookie extension deal that they still, or that rookie contract deal, that rookie's minimum deal that they still have to add. And frankly, that's something that has taken an interesting turn with the Kevin McCullough Jr. news. You could go check that video out. I just posted it. But when it comes down to it, that's not the biggest move the Knicks have to still make. Because let's face it, whoever that rookie is, and obviously head coach Mike Brown in no means is Tom Thibodeau, but at the same time, let's be real, the Knicks do have a deep enough team where we're likely not going to see that guy play a ton of minutes no matter who it is. And frankly, when it comes down to it, the guy who the Knicks are going to sign in free agency to that veterans minimum contract, the person that Leon Rose decides to sign, is obviously going to have a much bigger role with the team, as the Knicks are still a contending team, meaning these rookies, these younger guys, they're still not always going to play a whole lot of minutes, and it does depend on just skill set and the situation behind it all. And right now, we are going to see how that all plays out, but right now, the main Knicks core is there, and it's gotten much, much deeper, especially with the additions of Jordan Clarkson and obviously Guerschon Yabusele as well. And now there's one more for the Knicks to do. And Ian Begley recently spoke on that, saying, I'm not sure of the reasons behind the timing here. I do know people in the organization have interest in Ben Simmons, and other people in the organization have interest in Landry Shamet. I can only assume that they are weighing their options internally with respect to positional need. So that's where things get really interesting for the Knicks right here, is there is a corner of this Knicks front office that believes Ben Simmons is the move for this team, while others are erring on the side of, let's bring back Landry Shamet. He just played really well at the end of the playoffs once Tom Thibodeau gave him minutes, something the front office was asking him to do for a while, and Thibodeau was saying, it's my team, I'm going to decide how it goes, which, just once again, hence Mike Brown being hired, because he said he'd collaborate with the front office. But when it comes down to it, and we look at Landry Shamet, he was with the Knicks last year. He had good moments with the Knicks. He had Knicks fans chanting his name at one point in the playoffs. No one could have seen that coming from just a few months prior when he was first off that dislocated shoulder, because he was playing horribly. And then he obviously got things together. He got more comfortable, trusted his shoulder again, and started hitting threes at a really good clip. And he really helped the Knicks throughout whenever they would actually use their bench and Shamet would actually get minutes with the Knicks. Shamet, if he comes back, is going to get a lot of minutes because of his ability to shoot the three ball and move in transition. Mike Brown likes that. And honestly, I think Shamet's a great fit for this team. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons, his fit is a little wonkier. I mean, you look at this Knicks depth chart, and let's say they actually do keep starting Josh Hart, which is very, very possible that they do. It's going to be one of Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson. I mean, we've heard the discussion about Deuce McBride, something I really don't hate the idea of the Knicks doing. Some fans want Jordan Clarkson to start, which I don't love the defense in that backcourt between Brunson and Clarkson one bit, but I understand the sentiment, and I'm not going to say that it's a bad idea, because it's not a fully bad idea. If you replace Josh Hart with Jordan Clarkson, your offense really becomes incredible. And I don't hate it. And there's also, we did talk briefly about how Kristen Winfield mentioned Pacome Dadier as an option. Let's say the Knicks were to bring back Landry Shamet onto this bench. It is a smaller bench unit with McBride, Clarkson, Shamet, Yabusele, and Mitch coming off the bench, or potentially Josh Hart instead of Mitch, which makes it a really small bench unit. And Yabusele was signed to play the center, so it's possible. But on top of that, just what we see is also adding Ben Simmons to this helps your size situation more, but then your shooting situation does suffer as well. And that was something that James Edwards highlighted in regards to the Ben Simmons stuff, saying Simmons has been talked about with around the Knicks with their minimum roster spot if you're asking me what I think of the fit, I wouldn't be a fan of the signing. Yes, he'll add some much needed size to the backcourt. Yes, a defensive lineup of Simmons, Bridges, and Anunoby would be intriguing for small portions of the game. However, I'm not a fan of having a tailor-made offense for a backup point guard. And that's the thing. You have to make a specific offense for Ben Simmons or he's not going to be an effective player. And Edwards continued saying Simmons' inability to shoot or even look at the basket makes it so that Mike Brown couldn't successfully play him with non-shooters like Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. Giving significant minutes to a guard or wing who isn't willing to look to score isn't something I'd sign up for. New York needs to embrace its 5-out spacing this season more than it did last year, and adding someone like Simmons to that rotation makes it trickier to do that. Now, something that the Knicks did do back when they traded for Karl-Anthony Towns, one of the reasons why Leon Rose wanted to make that deal so badly, and this is what CP the franchise said over a year ago now when he mentioned some point in the middle of July that basically the Knicks were looking to sort of match the Boston Celtics as 5-out because they thought they could be the anti-Celtics, and lo and behold, it worked. And when it came down to it, the big thing the Knicks tried to do was counteract what the Celtics did by both being able to match up well with the Celtics and also having exactly the tools that Celtics team also had, just with differing tools being sharper. For instance, the best scorers on the Knicks being their point guard and their center in these situations, while the Celtics' best scorers were their wings and forwards between the two Jays and then Derek White. Obviously, the two Jays and Derek White are still there, but Drew Holiday's now on Portland, and Porzingis is in Atlanta, so... And, of course, Tatum's out for probably the entire season. I mean, if they make the playoffs and they have a real chance, maybe Tatum does come back. I don't know if the Celtics would actually do that. They might be just considering this a burned year, which, well, they kind of are based off every single move they've made thus far. But when it comes down to it, I do think what we're seeing in this situation is just the Celtics being a non-factor this year. So obviously that'll play into things. And I don't want to see Tatum come back too early and get hurt again. It really did suck to see him down like that. So when it comes down to it, I do think what's going to happen with the Knicks is going to be that they want that 5-out. And that's one of the reasons why you hire Mike Brown. And also, it's one of the reasons why you sign Landry Shamet. Because, yeah, Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson are going to negatively impact that 5-out. But they don't impact it as badly as Ben Simmons impacts that 5-out. I know Mitchell Robinson doesn't shoot at all either. It's not lost on me that happens. But Mitch is a true center, and he's basketball's best offensive rebounder. He sits in that dunker spot, and you can't double Karl-Anthony Towns the way you could with Josh Hart on the floor. That Knicks starting lineup last season is not a good unit to play together because they got figured out because of all the minutes they played together. So what they are going to have to do is find a different unit. And Ben Simmons, you could just do the same thing you did with Josh Hart to Ben Simmons, except more effectively, because you can kick the ball to Josh Hart, and theoretically, he can hit threes. I mean, he shot 37% from three in the playoffs, so it's possible. Ben Simmons, I remember 1 3 Ben Simmons made. It was the first one because it was against the Knicks from the corner, and Mitch tried to block it and almost got there. And the Sixers announcer went, "Simmons, yes!" And then Simmons never shot a three again. I will never understand what's going on in Ben Simmons' head that makes him completely unwilling to try to score the basketball, because he wasn't always like this. Something's going on, whether it's in his head or literally his back falling apart, and I hope it's... I was going to say I hope it's not his back, but I don't want him to be in his head either. I don't want either of these things to happen to Simmons, but, like, they are, and there's nothing that I can do or we can do as fans to change him, because no matter where he's went, the fans have supported him, whether it's the Sixers, until they obviously didn't for fair reasons, whether it's the Nets, until they obviously didn't for fair reasons, or it's just the Clippers who did because he wasn't there for very long. But it's not like Simmons was putting up incredible numbers. I mean, when you look at the playoffs, Simmons put up 1.5 rebounds, 1 point, and 1 assist in those 5 games, and basically got played off the court. At the same time, Landry Shamet put up 6 points per game, 2 assists, and 1 rebound when he actually got minutes in those 4 games that he played compared to the 5 Simmons played, where Shamet did get a few more minutes a game, but also had way more of an impact. I mean, Shamet played good defense, and he shot 53% from 3, 54% from 3, really. So when you look at all that, it does make perfect sense for the Knicks to go do something like that. I get the appeal of Ben Simmons. He's an all-around guy who last year put up 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, shooting 52% from the field. He's a phenomenal defender. He's recently turned 29 years old. He should be in the prime of his career, but he's not. And one of the big reasons is teams don't have to guard him at all. He could be sitting at the top of the key. We've seen him make all those jump shots in practice. He's not going to shoot him. We all know that now, and there's nothing that's going to change that. So Mike Brown, I doubt, will be able to. Meanwhile, Landry Shamet's a tailor-made guy for a Mike Brown team. Shot 47% on corner threes, shot 40% from the three, likes to move out in transition, averaged 6 points and 1 rebound a game, and plays solid defense as well. His defense is very underrated. So I think right now, all those moves make way more sense for the Knicks personally. And yeah, the Knicks also, if they wanted a more on-ball guard, they could go get Malcolm Brogdon. There's injury concerns for sure, and he didn't have the greatest season last year. He put up around 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 43% from the field and 28% from three, which are the percentage numbers are below average. He did shoot 40% on corner threes, though. He's getting older now. He's somehow already 30 or nearly 33 years old. Will be 33 during this season, which just hurts my soul because it makes me feel old. But at the same time, I think the Knicks just have better moves out there than Ben Simmons, if you ask me, like, where the Knicks are right now. And I do sort of expect Ben Simmons to not end up signing with the Knicks and go to a team like the Celtics where he actually gets more of a chance to play basketball. I just think that makes more sense right now, and I think the Celtics would like to sign him and then potentially try to sell him off in the deadline as well because he's on a minimum contract, so it could be easy. Meanwhile, the Knicks, I feel like it's simple. You just go out there, you just go and you bring in Landry Shamet. You could also go for Amir Coffey. I think those are the two guys you could go for. I don't dislike the Malcolm Brogdon move, but there's a lot of on-ball guards as it is now that I do think can handle it, so Brunson's not alone at this point. I just think all that makes more sense. Also, you could just kind of start using Tyler Kolek and see if it works. So that's what the Knicks should do personally. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Knicks.